Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play of What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, last time we got through a few more stories of what happened. The last we encountered was Sam and Walter, and before that we had Molly, Calvin, and Barbara. And we also briefly saw about Odin, which were kind of like their forefather. Quick recap. Molly, I have a hard time deciphering what happened to her. Same with Barbara. The story seems a bit vague because I don't know if what we see is actually what happened or if it's like a sort of interpretation of what happened. But Molly apparently maybe had a nightmare or something of she becoming several different animals and starving apparently. Barbara were a movie star, a kid's movie star, and her career were going down the wrong track, and apparently it said she got eaten up by monsters. I don't know if it's like her monsters were something else, like maybe alcohol or drugs, I don't know. Calvin apparently was on a swing and he ended up in the sea. Well, that's what we're told. Walter was staying underground in like a bomb shelter of some sort under the Finch's house, and he went out one day and apparently got run over by a train. Unfortunately, very tragic. Sam, he were out hunting with Dawn, which is Edith's mother, and we are playing as Edith. And they were going, Sam and Dawn were going to take a picture of a deer Dawn shot, but apparently was not dead, so it lashed out after Sam and he fell off a cliff. So yeah, okay, let's get back to it. So where we are here is Sam's room, I guess. And I'm not sure how we get out of here. Do we backtrack? Yeah, I think so. But what now? I mean, no. I haven't. This game has been very good at explaining where you had to go, but here I feel a bit stuck. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. Ah, it's here. Okay, sorry guys. All those secret passages in this house.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory. Oh yeah, that's the child that only... He was just 1 year old. Oh god, don't really have to. Dawn, Gus. Okay. A lawsuit has been filed against you. You have 20 calendar days after this summons is served on you to file a written response to the attached complaint petition with the clerk of this court located at blah 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 blah. Hey, don't do that. I was reading it. Come on, Edith. Kay and Sam, they got divorced.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Okay.
Bend over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw. It sure made him happy. I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Oh no. So we do something like this.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
God. Wow, guys. God, that was just sad. Okay. Okay. Poor Gregory. Okay.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet
Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Wow, this is hard. There we go.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
What the hell do we have to do here, guys? I'm not sure. Oh, here we go.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. While my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
she never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
So I guess Gus was like Dawn's brother. I think, but I'm not actually sure.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Oh, so
At
Gregory was Dawn's brother.
the time,
apparently.
it was as far away as she could get.
Okay. Let's roll up here. These like mountain climbing things, I've actually never tried those, but I'm not very very good at stuff like that. So I guess that's only for the good of it. Okay. Dawn and Sanjay.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Ah, okay. Fly to India. Yeah, Sanjay is an Indian name, I guess. Well, that computer is old. Old. Very old.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Yeah. Religion.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Yeah, Milton. Milton, yeah, he was the one who disappeared.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back and to see
Okay.
kids in the house again.
Yeah, gardening. I love gardening. Basil, sage, thyme, mint. It's funny with those small dolls that is around. I think they represent something, but I'm not sure what. Maybe those, the family
The house
members.
had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Analyze objectively, never stop learning, assume nothing, respect criticism, ask tough questions. Reading as a
But it didn't last.
classification. Animal, plant, fungus, protist, Odin Finch, occurs, myth, history. To teach and to learn, Dawn Finch. So she wrote a book. She's very religious. Very religious.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
So that was Milton's room. it's so weird, you know, with the family members and kids who deceased, that they like foamed up the doors and made these, and Edie made these peepholes. Such a nice place, really. He was very creative, Milton.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
No. Whoops, sorry guys.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
What happened? What happened to you, Milton? Where did you go? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Oh yeah, we need to get out as well.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Didn't want it getting out? Did her mom? Did the mom kill Milton? No. No, 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 no. No way. No way, guys. That's just messed up.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Why did Lewis blame Milton stuff?
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Oh yeah, the cannery.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
It's like a boat. Those rooms, man. If I had rooms like this when I was a kid, damn.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dawn Finch.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the clinic, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
What the hell? How do I control this? Come on guys, I have no idea how to control this. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, okay.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery, but his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Like civilization.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows.
Oh yeah. Really pretty.
He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who had insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Really?
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Wow, guys. I think I will leave this here, and we will recap about what just happened in the next, and I think that's going to be, the next episode is going to be the final episode of this game, What Remains of Edith Finch. So thank you guys for watching this episode, and I hope you're looking forward to the next one. I certainly am. So I will see you very soon in the next episode. Thank you guys. Bye bye.